What is up, Boom Squad? I've got an awesome video for you today. This is to showcase, again, once and for all, however you want to put it, that Demonic Embrace is the best second item on AP champions ranged that have any type of burn ability. Even if they don't, it's still going to be amazing. I have not done all the testing on that, but I know if they have any type of burn, we're talking TEEMO, we're talking Brand, we're talking Lilia. Demonic Embrace is better than Shadowflame in nearly every use case scenario, okay? I'm going to show you the testing in this video. I'm going to show you the notepad, the data that I've collected, and you'll get to see it firsthand. It's an awesome video. Check it out. Here we are. We're here. I had some questions among the community in my video that I posted about the Demonic Embrace guide. People should build Demonic Embrace on basically a lot of AP champs as your second item. Despite what people say for ranged champions that it's bad, no, it is good. I'm here to showcase again, just a quick test. Somebody gave me a question and said, hey, actually for squishies, Shadowflame is better, and in your video you don't show the true squishies. Your squishy in that video is actually pretty tanky. Okay, I'm gonna showcase this, and I'm gonna go giga squishy. Okay, now when we look at this, I'm gonna show you guys. I've done the testing already, and if you look over here, the squishiest champion in the game is actually Kale. Okay, it's Kale at level 1. With 22 resistances, okay? 22 magic resist is what we're looking at. Okay, so 22. All right, now you're not going to even have a shroom at level 1, so we don't even need to look at that. And we're going to go on the growth efficient here. Now, granted, over time, you're going to have about 5 levels in, you're going to have one different. It's going to be really close between Yuumi and Kale. So we're just going to use Yuumi because of the value at 18. Let's just say that if we go by the growth efficient of Yuumi, so 25, plus let's go into, let's just put Yuumi, because Yuumi's a support at like level 8, about level 8. We'll do level 8, around there. If you're going to be top lane TEEMO or even mid lane TEEMO, you're going to be level 11, and the support is going to be around 7 or 8, right? We're just going to say 8. So that's going to be 8.8 growth efficient on top of 25 base. Now, if you still even want to do Kale instead, you would still have above 30, right? So you do, what would that be? 8, that'd be 10.4 on top of this, which would be 32.4. And this would be 8.8 on that, which would be 33.3. So like we could just say 32 and be on Kale's terms right here. All right. So 32 resistances. Now, if we go in, and if you were looking at my notes there, you'll see all the numbers. If we go in, I set the dummies at 30 resistances, which is even less than what I said, to put it like 32, right? Well, you can only go by 10 differential when you're doing this. So I can only go 30. I can't do 32. But 30's fine. If we do 30 resistances, and then I did 1,200 health, okay, which is pretty low, but we're going to do low just because we're doing Giga Squishy, okay? So you got 30 resistances, 1,200 health. The second one is got 50 resistances, okay? 50 resistances and 1,600 health. And the last one's got 70 resistances and 2,000 health. Now, the reason I was doing this is I was going up 20 resistances in each one and then 400 health in each one. They're all squishy. They're all squishy. This is basically a late game squishy, this is a mid game squishy, and this is an early game squishy. And as you can see, even on the squishies, okay, even on the squishies, I've done the testing, and this is Demonic Embrace right here, okay? We're going to just go ahead and quickly showcase. Now, I did Sork shoes as well. I did 4 different tests, okay? 4 different tests. The first test was just Liandry's Demonic Embrace. The second test was Liandry's Shadowflame. the third test was Demonic Embrace and Sork Boots. And the fourth test was Shadowflame with Sork Boots as well. So, just to showcase what the difference is of these two items, because the main question here is what is better to build on your mages, your AP users, to go Shadowflame, or do you go Demonic Embrace? And people say Demonic Embrace isn't worth it for ranged champions, and I'm telling you, no, that's wrong. Demonic Embrace is still better. Now, they are the same cost, okay? They're both 3,000 gold. The main difference here is between their passives and their health differences and their AP differences, okay? So if we look at it just real quick, you have Demonic Embrace here. It's got 75 ability power. Shadowflame's got 100. You got Demonic Embrace. It's got 350 health. Shadowflame's got 200. So we're looking at a 25 ability power difference and a 150 health difference. Now, if you look at the passives, there's a shield proc thing here, which is really big, and we can't showcase that, unfortunately. But realistically, you're not going to get this proc as often as a lot of people think. You're not going to get the shield proc that often. Just not going to happen. Not going to happen. All right. Now, you're going to get the 10 magic penetration. So what I was... And then you have the Demonic Embrace passive that's going to showcase the 0.8% max health magic damage every second for 4 seconds. All right. Now, what's key to mention here, okay, what's key to mention is the second passive, Dark Pact, actually helps out Demonic Embrace a lot. Now, I don't have any health runes. Nope. No health runes, nothing. Pay attention to my runes down there. I have the runes that aren't going to help this testing at all for TEEMO to showcase anything. It's not going to help either item. None of these, this is Bone Plating, this is Demolish. None of these give you any extra health. Triumph will give you health, but I'm not killing anybody, so it's not going to proc. And I didn't use the rune stat for the health rune stat. Did not use that. I used armor instead, as you can see there on the screen. So, when you're looking at this, and you do this test, you can see that Demonic Embrace is already giving you 11 ability power. Realistically, though, even though I'm not showcasing it, realistically, you're going to have some extra health in the game on either some other items or whatever. So, you're going to have a better effect for your Demonic Embrace, to give you a little bit of an extra gap closer between this and Shadowflame. However, we're not showcasing that. We don't even need to pay attention to that anyway, because we don't care about that second passive in this testing. Not that big of a difference. It's very negligible. But anyway, so just to show you about like health stacking and whatnot. So let's go ahead and do the test really quick. We're just going to go the raw items, just the raw items. We're not going to do the boots as well, just the raw items at first. All right, so we're going to do Shadowflame first, and here's the testing. We're going to throw a shroom there. We can proc these all at once, by the way. We just got to make sure they don't hit each other. Okay. And as you can see, I'm going to showcase this too. I already know what these are supposed to hit. So, here we are. Shadowflame, 573, 518, and 477. Let's check this. 573, 518, 477. That's correct. All right. So now we're going to show Demonic Embrace. All right. Now, Demonic Embrace, 573. Let's check this out. This is the Ultra Squishy. Okay. Ultra Squishy. It was 573. Now, what is the difference? 537. Looks like a pretty decent difference in favor of Shadowflame. Now over here, we have 518. And it procs to 521. Okay. So it looks like in favor of Demonic Embrace. And then you're going late game squishy. Late game ultra squishy, by the way. And we're looking at 511. All right, so we wanted to showcase the early game, the weakest champion in the game. Okay, the lowest resistances in the game is going to have a 537. And just to show you here that I did all the testing, here's 537, 521, 511. 537, 521, 511. So we can kind of jump back here instead of showing this all over again. So you guys can just trust me on this one. I showed you just so no one thinks, hey, you're just crunching numbers. All right. On here, what I'm showcasing, this is level 11. This doesn't matter. It's just level 2 into the ultimate because we're only doing a shroom testing. We got 1,200 health, 1,600 health, 2,000 health, 30, 50, 70 resistances. And then here we are. So I'm going to mention here, runes have 0 impact on this testing whatsoever. All right. As you can see the difference, okay? The difference between these is 36 damage. 36 damage is what you're doing on the ultra squishy. Let's remember that. The ultra squishy in the game, okay? The ultra squishy. We're talking about your Kale, and we're talking about your Yuumi. Super early game sort of thing. They are weak. The weakest for magic resistances. Now, chances are, and I want to say this, Kale, she's going to have some sort of resistances, and you're not going to have this sort of impact on her in the game anyway. I mean, Kale's not even played that often, but let's say she was, all this. There's a lot more to it. You're not going to do that much to her anyhow, because she's going to have some resistances when she plays against TEEMO. So you're really not ever going to get this kind of damage anyhow against Kale. And Yuumi, come on now. Come on now. Yuumi, you think Yumi's going to step on some shrooms? As if it's going to matter? Yuumi attaches to people. It doesn't matter. But again, I have to show this so I can, I wanted to respond to the comment about that early game squishies. No, Shadowflame's better. No, it's not. Demonic Embrace is still better. And I'm showing you the weakest, okay? The weakest. Yuumi, which you're not going to get anyway. And Kale, which again, Kale's going to have some resistances, so it's not going to, this isn't going to impact that. But whatever, we're just going to showcase it. All right, so here you are. You can see a 36 damage difference on the ultra squishy. 1,200 health, 30 resistances, which is basically like almost level 1 for Kale. Okay, almost level 1. Kale's going to surpass at about level 5 or 6. She's going to get right around 30 resistances. Okay, right when you get your level 1 shroom, not your level 2. At level 11, I mean, she's going to have, what is that, 100 and, shoot, I can't even do the math right now. Let's just put 3 on that, plus 11, so that's 14 onto that, so that's going to be 36, okay? So she'll have 36 if she builds no resistances for her items, which if she's going up against a team on the top lane, do you think Kale's not going to build resistances? No, she is, unless if you're playing in, like, Iron or Bronze. She's going to build resistances. Likely she's going to go Wit's End. But she's going to have some resistances. And she'll probably have even the boots. Let's say she just goes attack speed. Even if, let's just say, whatever case, she still decides to go 0 resistances, you're going to have a 36 damage difference. Okay? And then when you go up to the next stage with 50 resistances, only 50 resistances and 1,600 health, all of a sudden, Demonic Embrace beats it. Sure, only beats it by 3 damage. But you have to remember that the passive, so when you stack in health, you're getting more out of it, which Shadowflame, you're not going to get that. You're not getting anything unless if they have shields, you'll do a little bit more damage. But other than that, you're getting nothing out of it. So you're getting 150 more health out of Demonic Embrace, and you're getting some stackability on top of that passive for the more health that you have, the more ability power you get, which matches it closer to Shadowflame in terms of raw ability power. So, honestly, Demonic Embrace is a better item. And then once you go to even later game for that squishy, you're looking at 2,000 health, 70 resistances. And this is taken into effect not just the scaling, because as you can see, if you built 0 resistances, you're still going to be at 44, okay, for the lowest. But you're going to build resistances, okay? You just are. You're going to have some sort of resistances. And if you don't, fine. If you don't, you're going to still be right here. Like, as you can see, other than Kale and Yuumi, let's just use Ori, which is at 48, which is really close to 50. There's only 3 champions below 50, by the way, and this is at level 18, okay? So if we just say it's 50, we can go right around here. And as you can see, in this second dummy, Demonic Embrace still beats Shadowflame. And the second dummy right here is another big factor I wanted to show you, okay? I did the testing. Now, this is only adding in Sorcerer's Boots, Sorcerer's Shoes. I said I should put this as shoes because, you know, that's what they're called. I always say boots, but they're called shoes. All right. So the Sorcerer's Shoes here, okay? It's the only difference, and as you can see, level 1, there's an 8 damage difference in favor of Shadowflame. 8 damage. In terms of the second dummy, there is, again, an 8 damage difference. And then, coming up to the third dummy, you have a 30 damage difference going back into Demonic Embrace favor. Now, is 8 damage difference worth the 150 health less light item, Shadowflame? No. 150 health is a pretty huge factor considering all you're doing with one shroom is 8 damage. 8 damage, 150 health? Come on. Come on now. Let's be real. Let's be real. Demonic Embrace is better. And trust me, these numbers are accurate. I'm not going to go back in the testing. I'm not going to lie to you guys. 100%, if you go and test, and I did each of these tests twice, by the way. Twice. So I threw the shroom down, and then I threw it down again to make sure the number was the exact same, and I didn't somehow get some weird proc, or I don't know. I just wanted to make sure. So, yeah. Trust me, these numbers are 100% accurate. And as you can see, Demonic Embrace is better as your second item. Now, I can go show you more items you stack on there and all that, but it's not worth it. All we're trying to see here is just early game sort of thing. Which one's better? Shadowflame or Demonic Embrace as your second item? I don't care what role you play. Top, jungle, mid, ADC, or even support, where I play TEEMO. Demonic Embrace is the best second item. This does not apply to every single champion. It's important to mention that the shroom and the poison on that shroom is what is making Demonic Embrace more effective, as well as Liandry's Anguish more effective. So if you play a brand, Demonic Embrace, second item, 100% better than Shadowflame. Another thing to take into effect here is, and Brand's a really good one to mention, is the biggest issue with Brand is 1, no mobility, and 2, he's squishy. He dies quick. So you need to get off as much damage as possible. You're not going to get more than one combo unless if somehow no one focuses you or you're a god in terms of mechanics. You're likely only to get off one combo in a team fight, and then you're going to die. Or you're not going to be able to return to the fight and get off much more. In that case, you need to get off as much damage as possible in that full rotation. Shadowflame's not going to do it for you. It's not. I could show you the testing on Brand as well if you guys really, really wanted to. But trust me, Demonic Embrace is the best second item on your ranged AP champions, especially the ones that are doing burn. So I mentioned TEEMO. We're talking Brand. We're talking, if you wanted to go into the build for Lilia, that's another thing. I'm trying to think of any other burn champs out there. Oh, man. Cassiopeia. I don't think Cassiopeia even built... I'm not too sure. I don't play Cassiopeia. But anyway, and Cassiopeia is not even going to be able to build boots anyway, or shoes anyway, the sorcerer's shoes anyway, because she can't. There you go. I'm telling you right now, you look at these numbers, you look at the difference, and you tell me if you think that Shadowflame is worth losing out on a 150 health difference and having a tiny damage difference. A tiny damage difference. Okay? Really tiny. This is negligible difference. And this is for the squishiest champions in the game. As you can see on the side here, the squishiest champions in the game. And look, when you go up here, this is... I mean, come on now. This is level 18, sure. So we should focus around this right here. Right? The second dummy should be the focus, not the first dummy. But I wanted to showcase even the squishiest of squishiest in a case where no one builds any resistances or anything like that. What's going to be more effective? Come on now. Come on now. What's more effective? Look at these numbers. Demonic Embrace wins by 3 damage here. We're looking at the second dummy. And here, Demonic Embrace loses by 8 damage. 8 damage Again, 50 resistances, 1,600 health. This is the squishiest champs, and you want to have the biggest effect on all champions that you are facing. Not just the squishiest, all champions. This is a tank meta. This is a tank meta. So Shadowflame is not going to be as effective. It's not. It's not going to be as effective. Demonic Embrace is an AP item effective for tanks. Shadowflame is not effective for tanks. It's effective for squishies. So in a tank meta, what item is better? I rest my case, baby. I rest my case.